Well, hello, everyone. Colter Nuanez, Skyline Sports, SkylineSportsMT.com. Thanks for following along to our YouTube channel. Appreciate you for joining us. A little later in the week, it's been a hectic week. Had some challenges earlier in the week, but we got it back on track. So here we are. Usually do our players to watch, early in the week, Tuesdays or Wednesdays. But here we are on a Thursday, and just a day away from Montana State's quarterfinal FCS playoff football game against William & Mary. Here are some players to watch for William & Mary, the Tribe. They hail from Williamsburg, Virginia, the oldest university that isn't Harvard in the entire United States, founded in 1693. So I found that very interesting. They also have a crazy coaching lineage. Lou Holtz coached there once upon a time. Mike Tomlin played there. So a lot of history there at William & Mary. They also got a good football team. They're 11-1 this year. They won the Colonial Athletic Association. Their head coach, Mike London, he was the head coach at Richmond when Richmond won their first ever national title back in 2008. The Spiders beat the Montana Grizzlies 24-7 in that 2008 national championship game. This William & Mary team, they're good on both fronts. That's where it starts for them. And that's pretty familiar to what the Bobcats like to do as well. So that should be a good matchup. I think that the Bobcats have pushed people around all season long. I don't know if they'll be able to push this team around nearly as much, but it should be interesting to watch the battle in the trenches. Here's some players to watch for the William & Mary offense. Darius Wilson, he's a sophomore quarterback from the Bronx, New York, and he's also a southpaw, and he's been a model of efficiency. He's completing 66% of his passes. He's thrown for 2,190 yards, 16 touchdowns. He's also rushed for 522 yards and 4 touchdowns as well. He's a great dual threat, really tough-minded guy, and he's the thing that makes the whole thing go. But they also have a great offensive line, anchored by Colby Sorsdahl. He's their senior right tackle, 6'6", 310 pounds. Earlier this week, named a first-team All-American by Hero Sports. Sorsdahl, a guy that is the veteran player on this offensive front that's helped William & Mary amass 3,320 yards rushing, 277 yards per game, which is the fourth best average in the nation. The Tribe also averaging 6.1 yards per carry, which is one of the top marks in the FCS, and they've given up 0.58 sacks per game. So that sounds pretty familiar if you're a Bobcat fan. That's been part of Montana State's formula for success as well. Mike London, the head coach of William & Mary, said earlier this week, obviously there's dynamic players who help you win, but when you have an offensive line that can establish a run game and protect the quarterback, that's a tremendous thing. To me, our offensive line has been a catalyst of a lot of things that are going on, particularly in the run game and our ability to throw the ball down the field. They've done a fantastic job. So the fronts are always going to be good when you get to this point of the playoffs, but particularly good for William & Mary. Their top ball carrier, Bronson Yoder. He's a 5'11", 205-pound senior. They have a 3-back attack, though. They play 3 guys, including Malachi Emo and Donovan Lester. Yoder is a 1,000-yard guy, 1,133 yards, 12 touchdowns. He's got 6 100-yard games this season already. Emo's the slash back, the scat back. He's got 709 yards, 9 touchdowns, averaging almost 9 yards per carry. And then Donovan Lester, he's a big back, 6'2", 210, and he's rushed for 533 yards, averaging more than 6 yards per carry, as well as 8 touchdowns. On defense, the Tribe led by John Pius. He is a sophomore outside linebacker, and he's had a huge year. 71 tackles, which is a team high, 11.5 sacks, and 19.5 tackles for loss, plus 12 quarterback hurries. Those are all among the best numbers in the nation. He is a sophomore All-American as of earlier this week, one of the best outside linebackers in the United States. Jalen Jones is their top corner. He's a freshman. He goes 6 feet, 185 pounds. He was a freshman All-American. Earlier this week, he was named to that team. He's got a team-high 4 interceptions. He had 3 of those picks against Campbell, and he's one of the leaders on the back end of that defense, even as just a freshman. Their top defensive lineman, their most productive defensive lineman, is Nate Lynn, a 6'3", 255-pound junior. He's got monster numbers as well, 55 tackles, 6 sacks, 10 tackles for loss, 11 quarterback hurries, 4 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery. So a really productive year for Nate Lynn in his junior year as well. One other guy that's just interesting, he's on the roster, and he's been a contributor. He's got 34 catches, 532 yards, and 3 touchdowns. That's Kalen Newton. He's the younger brother of Cam Newton. He started his career at Howard. That's when Mike London was at Howard. So I think he brought Kalen Newton with him. But a famous older brother. This William & Mary team is going to be tough. Where they're located, Williamsburg, Virginia, is right there in one of the most fertile recruiting grounds in the country. So many good players from that Virginia Commonwealth and the Hampton Roads, as they call it. Mike London knows that area really well, having been at Richmond, Virginia, Maryland, and now back at William & Mary. They're going to have some tough dudes. They're going to be a team that's ready to roll on Friday night in Bozeman as they take on Montana State. There you go. Some players to watch for the William & Mary Tribe as they prepare to face Montana State. 8:15. It's 6:15 right now as we record this. 8:15 under the Bobcat Stadium lights. Catch the game on ESPN2. Thanks for following along here. Skyline Sports, SkylineSportsMT.com. Our players to watch. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share it around. And appreciate you for always tuning in. Colter Nuanez. See you soon.